Welcome back everyone for a very important Cobra Kai Season 3 watch party. We have just learned that the beginning of Season 3 will be exactly like the Season 3 release date. It's far off into the future. Way out. It's a time skip away. You'll have to transport yourself through time to get there. Well, you get the idea. Anyway, in regards to Season 3, Billy Zabka just gave an interview with Collider where he dropped an important tidbit. Now the question he was asked, what was going through Johnny's mind at the end of Season 2?
But he's definitely going to have some downs and some ups and some downs and some ups and some sideways. And so I guess that's so he wasn't doing too well at the end of Season 2 and picks up a little bit later in time after Season 2, Season 3 does. So
whoa, wait a second. What was that? Was he talking way too fast? Actually, he was. I had the speed cranked up. I recommend listening to interviews and podcasts on increased speed. Start off at 1.25 or 1.5 to get used to it. You save yourself time and without any loss of understanding. But for now, let's slow down to normal speed.
But he's definitely going to have some downs and some ups and some downs and some ups and some sideways. And so I guess that's so he wasn't doing too well at the end of Season 2 and picks up a little bit later in time after Season 2, Season 3 does. So
while I don't think he intended to give it away, this is a very important piece of information. We now know there will be a time skip at the beginning of Season 3. This is important and sheds a lot of light on what we can expect at the beginning of the episode. There are several things we can deduce from this information. Imagine for a moment what this means for everyone other than Johnny. First off, the uncertainty of Miguel's recovery will be gone. All the questions about the surgery, the way this ended.
So the next 24 hours are critical.
It won't mean anything anymore. Do you still think Allie will come in to save Miguel when the show picks up a fair bit later after all this? While it technically still could be done, but the dramatic tension of whether Miguel lives will be gone. We know he lives. This isn't about Allie saving Miguel. Miguel's story will focus on his recovery and how he comes back to full strength. Johnny's story is a bit of a question. After giving up the dojo, his car and smartphone, what will he do? You should expect to see Johnny very similar to how he was at the beginning of Season 1. He may even be back to working as a handyman, doing odd jobs around the valley. He'll be away from technology and never saw Allie's friend request. Actually, stop and think about that for a moment. Johnny sent Allie a message. She then sends him a friend request, which he never sees. But Allie doesn't know that. How will that affect Allie when she first appears? Don't you think she'll be kind of upset? Pissed even? Like, what the hell, Johnny? You send me a message saying maybe we connect one of these days, then you ignore me? You haven't changed one bit, Johnny Lawrence. For all the people thinking Allie will swoop in as some saving grace for Miguel as a favor to her old boyfriend, it'll be the exact opposite. She'll be annoyed, if not outright mad at Johnny when they first see each other, because as far as she knows, he blew her off. This will bring their relationship in the show back to where it was in the movie. She's mad at him and he's like, at least there's symmetry. Another point I want to look at is Tory. Now back in April, co-creator Hayden Schlossberg answered a question on whether she'll be arrested and put in juvenile detention. Hayden replied, no, she got out. You'll see why. Now I made a video on this. I thought that maybe Tory gets out of juvie because Sam shows some mercy towards her. I'll link this video at the end. On some level, I still think that could be true, but maybe she actually doesn't get out of it entirely. Let's take Hayden's words literally. That's often the best approach for him, except when it's not. The question was, will she go to juvie in Season 3? Since we now know Season 3 has a time skip.
Picks up, a little bit later in time after Season 2, Season 3 does. So
the answer would almost certainly be no, because she is already there. So she wouldn't go to juvie because she's already in juvie, and she will likely get out in an early episode or even perhaps before the first episode. This would make Hayden's response literally true and line up perfectly with Billy's time skip reveal. Now the biggest reveal here is that it confirms my main theory from this spoiler video that unlocked the first scene of Season 3. If you haven't seen that video yet, you may want to check it out. Click the card in the corner and I'll link it at the end.
And give him a gift he will never forget.
You seem like you already know how to kick ass pretty well.
I was able to demonstrate from a pic of Ralph Macchio's script that the first scene of Season 3 will be at the All Valley tournament. The question was, would it be a flashback or a flash forward? I was leaning towards a flash forward, and we can now assume that is the answer. Season 3 is going to pick up in the future with Miguel and Robbie facing off at the All Valley. Now, I don't think we are going to see the whole match. This is a way to get us into what's going on. It will also be a way of letting us know the timeline isn't what we'll think it'll be. After some of the match, we will flash back to some point after the school fight. This is going to be a common occurrence in Season 3. Prepare to get used to a lot of flashbacks. Now, there are two ways they can proceed. Either the All Valley we see in the very first scene is the base time, and the episodes are told via flashback until they catch up to the tournament, and then it proceeds from there. Imagine as the episode starts, we see a different match at the All Valley, and then it flashes back to earlier and proceeds. A more likely way is Season 3 opens at the All Valley and jumps back entirely and proceeds from there. However, we will likely get further flashbacks in those episodes. You remember we are likely to get Kreese backstory in this? Now, as we get the backstory on Kreese, we unfortunately won't be getting any backstory on Mr. Miyagi because Pat Morita is no longer with us.
Mr. Miyagi treated me like a son. He wouldn't keep any secrets from me.
Are you sure about that?
On second thought, yeah, we will be getting backstory on Mr. Miyagi. So the timeline will be all over the place. It'll be non-linear storytelling, which I told you to expect in Season 3 long ago. You can imagine the show bouncing from an All Valley to just after the school fight to a little later in Miguel's recovery to all the way in the past. Vietnam, World War II, maybe the 1950s when Mr. Miyagi was a veteran Medal of Honor winner with no family and no home in Southern California. There's also back when Mr. Miyagi was still in Okinawa with Sato and Yukie before he left. So even with our confirmed time skip into the future, expect a lot of details from the past to be filled in. How do you expect the timeline to go in Season 3? Leave a comment and let me know. Subscribe to the channel, you don't want to miss the best Cobra Kai news and theories. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. That there is the video that unlocks the first scene of Season 3, and the other video is about Sam showing mercy to Tory. Have a great day, I'll see you at the next watch party.
Daniel-san, in Okinawa, honor have no time limit.